Hey everyone, I'm Kayla. I am your Salem and surrounding areas real estate photographer, and I am so excited to meet you.
Yeah, we're super excited to have Kayla here. So let's get to know her a little better. So, where are you from? Are you from around here?
I am originally from Salem. I spent about 4 years out in South Dakota from 2021 to 2024, and then I came back. So I am back in Oregon, and I'm really happy because I missed the giant trees and all the mountains.
That's fair enough. When did you first get into photography?
So my photography journey started with my grandparents' Olympus camera and a trip to the coast. There's a little spot outside of Depot Bay where I think I took my favorite photo. And I actually still have a 3x5 print of it on my shelf in my room. And then when I really started diving into photography was in high school at Sprague. Started doing film photography and found a really deep love for just developing my own film, making my own prints, and then that led into becoming a portrait photographer. So I did that. I started my own business in 2015 and have been kind of doing that since. And now I'm working with Reliant, as you know, as a real estate photographer, and I'm really loving it.
Yeah, I mean, film and portraiture, those are awesome. It's very different than real estate photography.
Yes.
So, what have you liked so far about doing real estate photography?
I really enjoy going and just getting to check out the houses before they go on the market. I really enjoy kind of taking it back to just basic principles, because there's a lot of artistic ability that goes into taking portraits based on time of day, where you're shooting, lenses, all of that. And where real estate photography is more kind of like scientific in a way, where it's very measured. You're looking for specific angles to make sure the rooms look accurate. They don't look blown out and giant as we've all seen those wide angle different listings, but it's really dialed in. It's very accurate. There's a level of detail that comes with it that is a big change. And it's exciting because it kind of makes you stop and go back to basics, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how you mentioned that it's very precise and almost like scientific. I think that's how we get the quality that we have and can
Mhm.
repeat it no matter what the house is.
Right.
Because if our process stays the same,
Hmm.
then our results will stay the same and
Exactly.
everything will look nice. So it is a lot less, I guess, creative in a way and
Hmm.
less sort of personality filled than other kinds
Hmm.
of photography. But that doesn't mean that we're trying to be further away from the people involved. There's still
Right.
plenty of people involved. So,
Absolutely.
how would you describe how sort of important it is to still have these great interactions with all of these people that we're still working with on a day to day basis?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really cool about having done portrait work with people and having to navigate relationships is that you still have those relationships. When we're working with agents, it's making sure that we're getting the shots that they want for that property. It's making sure that once the photos are delivered, they're really happy with them, that they're exceptional quality that they come to expect from our work. And it's really making sure that if there's homeowners that are present, we're friendly, we're helpful, we kinda give them a rundown on the process because some sellers might be nervous, "Is my house perfect?" And it's like, of course, we're gonna make it look beautiful, and just kind of assuring them that what they've done so far to put in work to prepare their house, it's giving them compliments and letting them know that this bathroom is stunning, this backyard, oh my gosh, the view is amazing. I can't wait to see this at sunset, and so it's building that relationship even though it is scientific. There is a people aspect that makes us really phenomenal and I think really sets us apart because it's not just about going in and taking the photos and being done. It's the follow-up, it's the questioning with our agents afterwards to make sure that they are truly satisfied with products that we're providing them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really key. I think that is kind of like you said, what can sort of set us apart is that it's not just transactional. It's really
Hmm.
easy for this business to be in, out, no words, do the thing. I mean,
Right.
like you mentioned with the sellers, if I was a seller selling my house that I lived in for years, I would be nervous for sure
Right.
having some random photographer come in, like going through everything in my house, taking all the pictures. Like, I would really be nervous. So,
Right.
I do think it's obviously very important to try and make those relationships and be
Hmm.
friendly with everybody. and it's just beneficial for everybody involved.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, away from the real estate photography a little bit, you served in the military for some time. Tell me about how that has sort of shaped your outlook on who you are and everything.
I love that. We'll talk about the outlook part first. I think that the military has given me a really, really great piece of resiliency within myself. The ability to adapt, the ability to overcome when things change really quickly. And I think really just building a real desire for structure and making sure I love using checklists, which Reliant is great for because I've had all of the checklists I need to make sure that when I go into a shoot, I'm making sure I get everything that we need. But I served in the Oregon Army National Guard for 12 years. Out of my 12 years, I was active duty for 7. But I was active duty within the state. So I held MOSs, which is my job specialty, anywhere from medical to logistics to maintenance. And I was a recovery mechanic for 4 years. And so the truck that you saw was my truck that I got to drive around the state of Oregon when Humvees would break down because it's inevitable. And I got to drive that super giant truck and felt honestly like the coolest person alive. Like
That's
it
amazing.
was huge. It was really fun. But I think I've definitely learned a lot of structure and a lot of just ability to be professional even when things are challenging. Because it's one of those professions where you don't get to just say, "Oh, this job sucks," and you kind of just have to drive on. And I think that that's really helped shape me.
That's awesome. And a little bit more of a fun note, I've heard and seen mention of a rather horse-sized dog that you
Yes,
may have.
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I think he's a pretty big part of your life.
Yes, so I adopted this big boy, that's
What's
Apollo.
his name? Apollo?
Yes, he is Apollo, he's 9 months old. When I got him, he was the size of probably a large potato, and he was, like, maybe 6 pounds, and he's now about 110 pounds. He is a, half King Shepherd, quarter Cane Corso, quarter Rottweiler, so he's huge. He's my big boy. He's a pain. I'm working on training him right now, and it's been the most challenging experience I think I've ever had. I've always had dogs that were anywhere between 45 and like 75 pounds, and this is the biggest dog I've ever worked with. So he's truly a horse.
Yeah, just elaborate a little on how having a 100-pound puppy really affects your life and what you learn from that.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be way more gentle with a bigger dog, because they know that they are very similar in size to you, and they do not like to be challenged. Especially Corsos, you kind of have to train them with loving leadership. You can't just be a dictator with your dog. And, with a little dog, you can scoop them off the floor and be like, "That's bad. Don't do that," or
Can't
whatever
scoop
it
him.
is. No, I can't. I cannot scoop him up. I also have to hide the wood pile from him because he steals 6-foot logs out of the wood pile when he wants to. He also likes to chew on them and bring them inside sometimes, which is kind of a pain. But overall, it's a huge lesson in patience. This is his first time being a puppy. He's never been alive except for the last 9 months. And so it's having to have grace for the dog, which ultimately I think gives him grace for me. So
That's
it's a
awesome.
nice little bond.
I think that was really well said. Yeah, that's amazing. Let's end here with just kind of a nice little fun one. What's your ideal weekend? What do you like to do when you're away from work? Now, I do know that you do have availability on weekends. She will
Yes, I
shoot on
do.
weekends for you.
Yes, I do.
She's a badass. She will shoot whenever.
Got you.
But let's say you're not shooting on a weekend. What's
Mhm.
your ideal weekend to get away from work and life for a while?
Absolutely. My perfect weekend, I'm outdoors with my hands in the dirt, probably pruning, probably planting flowers, probably mowing my lawn on my riding lawnmower. I love the outdoors. I enjoy cultivation of houseplants, exterior flowers, all of the different things. So if I am doing anything that I enjoy, it is gardening. Indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter the weather, I'm out there. So that's what I'm doing on my best weekends when it's sunny. I'm getting my hands dirty. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kayla.
Of
We really
course.
appreciate having you here.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
can't wait to meet you all.